this. Here we go. Welcome to Tipsy Travel Talk. I'm your host Flo, and today's episode we're going to pull back the curtains on full-time travel blogging lifestyle, and I'm going to answer some of your best questions that you asked me on Instagram while drinking champagne. Oh boy. Let's do this. No. Hello and welcome to Trip. So by the time we finish, I'll have answered hopefully all your questions, and you'll know a lot more about me and my life. It's still going. It's just checking. There's a lot about my life that you guys don't see and that doesn't make the gram. So I gave you guys the opportunity on Instagram to ask me any questions about anything travel, dating, lifestyle, money, whatever. Yeah, this is it. So God help us. Okay, Jonte124 asks, what advice would you give a person who wants to go full-time? So I imagine you mean full-time travel blogging or full-time traveling in any. If you don't have a purpose to your travel, that gets old really quick and it starts to feel really empty. So make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you're not glamorizing the wrong things, finding ways to fine-tune your skills, figuring out ways you can work remotely for other companies, stuff like that. So like, don't just jump into it like I did. Make a plan. Next question. Coach.Jess asked, what's one of your biggest travel mishaps? Ooh, gosh, there's so many. I know. So one of you guys know really good friend Dakota. So Dakota and I, okay, so every year Dakota and I plan a trip somewhere on our bucket list or somewhere that we just think deserves more tourism. And India was our pick this year, and it was his second time, my first time. So of course, I had a huge privilege check because a lot of countries on an American passport, you can kind of just like rock up, get visa on arrival, XYZ. It would be something that I can do the day of. It comes to my flight date and I realize that I can't check in because they're asking for my visa online, and I go through like a dozen websites for expedited visas, and I mean, I'm already having to, I think I ended up paying like $500 to get an expedited 24-hour rush visa. It could have been much worse, but that was a huge privilege check and learning lesson. Noella asked, what program did you use to edit your videos? They look great. Thank you. I used Final Cut Pro. Go. There's nothing that can hold us. Look at the world, say I feel strong. There's nothing that can stop. I know I should be using Adobe Premiere Pro, to be honest. I love the Creative Suite. I'm a big fan. I've been using big fan of Adobe. I've been using that software for years. But when it comes to Premiere Pro, I just get overwhelmed, and I think for the type of videos I edit, Final Cut Pro does the job. Eventually, I'm gonna take like a month off and just like dig into YouTube tutorials and teach myself everything I need to know about Premiere Pro. But for now, Final Cut does the job. And thank you. Blossom. Okay, y'all usernames. How do you keep energy going while traveling? That is a great question. I think a lot of times what you guys see online isn't always reality, of course. If I'm posting a picture each day in a different location, hair is on point, that could have been like from a month ago, and that could have been like me scheduling my content crowd. That could have been me scheduling my content calendar to schedule out those posts. In actuality, I'm like in bed in Bali, not doing a single thing, chilling for like a week, just like not even, you know? So I definitely have my days and weeks where I just like recluse and I don't want any type of human interaction. Sometimes I just really don't want to be around people. I'm very much an extroverted introvert, and I love my own company and I love my own space. I think that's the best way to maintain energy, is to give yourself a bubble when you need it. Yeah. Jamaican Girl Abroad asked, for your first client, did they reach out to you or did you pitch? Of course I pitched. The thing people have to remember is, starting out, no one knows who you are. So you have to put your brand in front of people's faces. I started off pitching like hostels and hotels and like really like small scale travel companies. If you like reach for the stars right away, you will crash and burn. I'm just kidding. Dream big, but dream realistic, boo. You know, you gotta kind of balance the two. I think the thing about pitching that people get so intimidated by is like, people get so terrified that they won't get responded to. Like, I sent, I think, about 20 emails, and one responded that they would not be able to be a part of my escapades. Like, the humiliation. I closed my laptop like, okay, like, you know. I mean, Murphy's Law of Numbers says that the more you pitch, the more response you'll get, and the more times someone will say yes. So put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Learn how to market yourself. That's not something that's going to happen innately or overnight. So again, invest in yourself. It takes money to make money, so take that first step. Emma_Weebly asked, what is something you still don't understand about humans? Ooh, girl, we getting deep. I like this question. I don't understand our inability to relate on a more compassionate level with people who are less fortunate than us. I can recognize so many privileges in my life, whether it's my first world passport, English being my first language. There are so many privileges that I'm aware of.
We are now cruising on a rowboat through the Mekong Delta.
And because of that, I navigate this world with compassion because I understand that, like, literally, because my parents had sex in these imaginary lines, this pale dot, I was given this blue passport. I did nothing to earn my US passport, if that makes sense. But because I have it, I'm able to access so much of the world visa-free. There are times where people just like talk down and belittle people that don't have the same privileges or freedoms. I don't understand why humans can't be more compassionate and more self-aware to their privileges. Jessica.sxm asked, how do you maintain self-care while traveling? Like getting your eyebrows or hair done? Ooh, girl, yums. One thing I'm really happy that I started doing, like when I look at my eyebrows in high school, I think we all had like the really thin phase where we just like, who thought that was cool? Who thought that was cute? Like we look like hot messes. But started like nairing. I still to this day use facial nair. So I think it's the Pink Company. This is hashtag not sponsored, but I put that on a Q-tip and I just kind of arch my eyebrow in the shape that I want it. Literally just, I never touch the first half. All I'm doing is reshaping and recurving or touching up the curvature at the very end. That's it. When it comes to hair care, this is a wig, holla. I kind of just stock up. So I get hair care products, hair in general. I'll make sure I go to like a country with a black population. Those are countries that are gonna have like black hair care shops with products and hair specific to black ethnic women. So I'll stock up and get like 6 months worth of hair, conditioning cream, all the stuff that I think I would need, like gel, and I just travel with it. Every time I do a stock up, I add about probably 12, 15 pounds to my suitcase, and I hate it, but it's one of those things, like, what can you do? Alex_Wang_Leaks asked, how do you make a good caption? Any tips? So I actually have a notepad. It's probably really generic. The app is called Color Note, and it's color coded, but basically if I have a conversation, again, I'm by myself a lot. I solo travel 95% of the time. I am approached a lot. I have a resting smile face, and I'm always like welcoming conversation. My best captions come from an organic conversation or a real life experience or observation.
All right, I just got in. Welcome to Oktoberfest.
So anytime something happens in real life on my travels.
We just got inside of a cave. I wonder if we can drink the water. Disculpa. Bueno, a ver. Yeah, that's fresh. There you go. You look like you've done that before. Catching it in your mouth.
I write it down because I'm like, this is a caption. This is a lesson. This is the story I want to share later. I would just like start writing more, taking notes. When something inspires you, like write that quote down, write the sentence down. I journal every morning. I try to every morning. That way I'm also like always very aware of my thoughts and what I'm thinking. If there's anything you can do, whether it's meditation or journaling, to just get practice with like communicating with yourself, I would do that. Because the best captions come from those. Oh my gosh. Hello Free Spirit asked, how have you been able to make new struggling how have you been able to make new or maintain deep friendships on the go? Yeah, that's a great question. I have had some friendships suffer, whether I felt like I was being drained or being used, support wasn't being reciprocated. There's always, I mean, you have your reasons. You also just grow apart as well. There are friends for a reason and friends for a season, and if you have seasonal friendships, like, you can cherish that person and that chapter for what it was. There's no hard feelings or any love lost. It's just kind of just grow apart. My closest friends are living a similar lifestyle where they just get it. They can maybe go 3 weeks without hearing a word from me just because like life gets crazy. But when we do catch up, never skip a beat. So those are the best kind of friendships, the low maintenance ones, but the ones that will literally have your back for anything. House of Wend asked, how do you shoot, edit, write, post, and keep up with emails consistently? I don't. There's nothing about my life that's consistent. The thing about most content creators is we're all just kind of barely figuring things out. We're navigating a space that's just ever evolving. It's an over $10 billion industry. That's a lot. That's yeah. It's a lot of money. But I would say I've gotten really good at like being disciplined. I think it's very easy to say, oh, life is good, I'm getting paid to travel, I'll just not check my emails for a few days. I'm like, nah, you can't do that. I mean, self-care obviously shut down. My weekends aren't actually my weekends. So Saturday and Sunday aren't the days that I'm taking off. My weekends are Tuesday and Wednesday, ironically. I love Mondays. Mondays are the days where all the offers and opportunities are coming through emails. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's still work. I am coming up with some type of routine because nothing about my life is consistent or the same. So developing a routine within the mess of my lifestyle. BDH00 asked, do you have a home base? Where's the longest place you stayed? I do not currently have a home base. Bali was very close to becoming my home base. I do have a suitcase of storage in Bali. The longest place I've stayed was Barcelona in 2014 to 2015. Played a season of semi-pro basketball, ironically. Eventually I left after that season and I was like, okay, I'm really gonna chase this vlog because I want to live life on my own terms, on my own dime, and yeah. Afi Sharice asked, what is the end goal? How do you know that you accomplished your set goals? I think with what I do, because this industry is still evolving, the possibilities are really endless and it's so exciting. Every morning I get to wake up to dozens of emails inviting me to countries that I've dreamed about going to.
Tokyo, Santiago de Chile, Seoul, and Amsterdam.
I'm still enjoying this chapter now. I don't want to rush it just to get to some virtual finish line.
Doing it for the culture.
I don't want to stop creating, or I don't want to stop inspiring or writing or speaking. You know, I'm always gonna find a way to be involved in inspiring people.
Hello and welcome to the Duomo. We are in Milano, Italia. It's like 5 a.m. We're crazy. Look how pretty.
Broadening minds and creating content that really challenges the status quo. So
he said I'm the most beautiful girl here, and I was like, what are you trying to get me to buy?
I set financial goals and I set like little milestone markers. There's really no end goal right now, but I'm just really loving this chapter. Flight to Film asked, how do you combat loneliness on the road? I'm an extrovert and introvert. I prefer to be alone. I can't speak from a perspective of needing people around me to be happy. I need a little bit more time to recharge than others because I've been doing this for so long and constantly putting myself out there in foreign environments and giving so much of myself online and in person. So recharging by myself is the best way for me to do that. But if you do get lonely, there are apps like Meetup. It's not a dating app, but it's for people who can search like an interest like photography or hiking or surfing. Search it based on the city. So if you're traveling somewhere and you want to do like a photography meetup, you can meet people that way. Just going out and being confident, people will approach you also. So putting yourselves in environments to meet people. Put a smile on your face, look approachable. But yeah, worst case scenario, if you get lonely, try to do more trips with friends then. If you do feel you're feeling this like perpetual loneliness on the road, I would start like going on group trips or finding ways to like coordinate the schedules with your friends. Maya Papaya Nisha asked, do you have a hoe in every area code? Maya, what? Maya. Next question. No, I'm sure anyone in my position could and would, and I won't judge you if you do, It's a nah.
So this whole time we've been above a glacier and now we're below one. Get a hold of all of this.
Brainer Jill asks, what is your favorite memory of Europe, a specific activity or experience? Most of my travel experiences have been in Europe. It's where I started, it's where I like really found my wings. But I was super broke. But I also love the freedom and the liberation I felt. Here I am sharing wine on this hilltop, you know, with like 10 strangers from 10 different countries, watching the sunset, having this like conversation about world peace. Like it would blow my mind the rooms and situations I would find myself in, because I'm like, this can't happen, this wouldn't happen in America. So I definitely love and really miss and cherish those moments where I was just like, how am I here? How is this happening? How did I deserve this? Money doesn't buy happiness, absolutely not. Like it does make life easier, but my happiest moments are probably when I was the brokest, because I hung on to the little things and it made me appreciate just every little detail about being able to afford to travel or to be in that moment. Project Nightfall, what's up Aegon? Asked, do you go on any dates while traveling the life? I can't read. Do you go on any dates while living the life all around the world? It is very fun to date while traveling. I would say more so than in the States, for sure. You're exposed to more cultures, ethnicities, different types of beauty. Like I would look at someone, I'd be like, damn, like how? Like you would just see so many beautiful people. I do date abroad. Dating doesn't have to have like, you can date with intention and date with a purpose and date with a goal, but that doesn't always have to be the reason. A lot of times I'll be like, I just want to have a great conversation with a good looking guy. Even with Tinder. Tinder is like obviously known for being a hookup app. Tinder is taboo for a lot of reasons. But if you know how to make a decent profile, you can cancel out the creeps very easily by just letting them know why you're on there. Use it the way you want, but there's definitely ways to meet interesting people online, in person. One thing about like my dating life, I will say, is I will never post someone that I'm dating. So if I've ever posted a picture with a guy, you can automatically rule them out, because I will never give the username or profile of the person I'm seeing, because I think that's a boundary I personally need to draw for myself. Sunrise Jen asked, do you sometimes seriously want to quit this lifestyle? Since you're so optimistic. To be honest, no. I don't wake up to an alarm clock. I don't think you guys understand how cool, how much of a privilege, how awesome that freaking is. Like, I wake up when I want. Granted, I'm already a morning person, so I don't mind getting up early, but the fact that I have the choice to sleep in till noon if I want, it's freaking amazing. Cass Way asked, is there a bae? Absolutely not. The Only Ali asked, how did you officially get started and what would... The Only Ali asked, how did you officially get started and what advice would you give to people who want to do the same? Biggest piece of advice is to invest in yourself. It takes money to make money. Don't skimp out on your brand. You need to spend that dollar. You need to take that course. You need to invest in that coach. You need to do something that actively puts you ahead of someone else. The internet is free and there's so much free information out there, but the free information will only get you so far. You're gonna have to take the next step and invest in yourself, so do it. How did I get started? I actually started blogging when I was 11. Does anyone remember Xanga? It was like the very first blogging platform. But I had an Xanga called I'm a Little Black Balla Holla. That was a hot mess. I transitioned from like the diary blog to a pop culture blog to a gossip blog to a music blog to an academic blog. So I've always been blogging in some capacity. I got my degree. 10 days later, I booked a one-way ticket to Europe. I had an internship for 6 months set up in the UK. I left America with the intention of blogging, like starting my travel blog as a way to just like share stories. Like I didn't expect it to turn into the business it is now. I had no idea that it would turn into what it is today. So it's pretty cool. A Freeman 5 asked, were you always so confident in not going, or was it something you grew into? Absolutely something I grew into. I think there's a certain level of shamelessness that you need to have to pursue a business, especially if you're going to be the face of your brand. It takes a lot to put yourself out there, to be criticized, ridiculed, to be mocked. The internet can be cruel. Confidence definitely developed over time with every article I publish, with every share I acquire, with every new follower. Like, you know, all this like helps. And it's all very encouraging. At the end of the day, I have to look in the mirror and be my own biggest fan. I can't get that affirmation from others, or I can't rely on daily affirmation completely from others. Andrea NW asked, if you were to plant roots in one country, where would it be? Oh, it's so hard. There's not one country that I can see myself living in yet. I've definitely had moments where I was like, ooh, I can do this for a month. I can do that for 3 months. Honestly, if I knew that country, I would be living there. Adriana Lauber asked, how do you make money while traveling and what advice would you offer? So I have about 14 different income streams and I get paid like every other day. So I'm really spread out, and because you need to have multiple baskets and multiple eggs. But obviously income streams developed as I grew experience and as I got better with my work. Most brand campaigns I do now are 5 figures. So, I mean, if you do 10 a year, that's, what was the question? The advice that I would have to offer, especially if you're just starting out, is not to focus on the income. You need to have this like people over profit mentality where you're helping people and you become a resource. And once you become a resource, you're referred by other people. So try to curate that title about your brand first before you try to start monetizing it. Last question. Blake Henry 12 asked, best advice for someone who is afraid to travel solo. Give it a shot. Like, you have nothing to lose. Maybe your life. There's so much that can go right and so little that can go wrong. So go for it. Woo. More champagne. I need more champagne. I didn't buy enough champagne for this. That was fun. This was really long, but if you got through this entire thing, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, thanks for tuning in for episode 1. Next time we'll be discussing another topic. You guys drop a comment. Thanks for watching. I can't. I need water. We're getting water. All right, bloopers. Welcome to Tipsy Travel. Every year we try to plan a trip somewhere where it's not sponsored. Sorry, it's sponsored. Some of it's sponsored. My voice, I sound like a man. Make sure this is still recording. Until next time. Bye.